They said the best time to start a YouTube channel was 10 years ago. But let me just say, the best time is right now, especially if you're over 50. And here's why. Hey there. If you're watching this, I want to say something up front that I wish someone told me a few years ago. You're not too late, okay? You're right on time because whether you're 30, 50, 70, or anywhere in between, there's no expiration date on creativity and joy and starting something new. And today, I want to talk about not a general audience, but you, about why now is actually the best time to start a YouTube channel, especially if you're over 50. Not only because the tools have never been more accessible, but because your voice, your experience, and your perspective are more needed now than ever. You see, I've learned this firsthand over the past few years building my channel. I've made mistakes, tried new things, chased views, felt discouraged, and felt inspired again. And somewhere in all that trial and error, I found a part of myself that had been quietly wanting to be heard. So let me share what I've learned through real experience and walk you through 5 big things to consider if you're thinking about starting your own channel. So the first is you bring a lifetime of storytelling power, right? So let's be real. The internet is full of creators. But do you know what most of them don't have? Life perspective, wisdom, patience, depth, right? So when you've lived through a few decades of real life, like me, relationships, heartbreak, parenting, careers, love, you got stories, and not just stories, but meaningful insight into what those stories taught you. That is superpower. And you may not have fancy editing skills, you may not care about trending audios or perfect thumbnails, but your voice, your truth resonates. People are starving for authenticity. Yeah, they're hungry for something real in a world of constant scrolls and highlight reels. And for me, I thought I was going to stick to travel content because that's what I love. My husband and I go on some incredible adventures, but then in the midst of filming our travels, I found myself standing at the Olympic Games and something clicked. I was suddenly transported back to being a kid watching track and field. That quiet childhood fascination came roaring back. And it turns out that part of me had never left. I had just been waiting. So now I talk about sports. I post videos about sprinters, divers, gymnasts, swimmers, and it's fun because it's not performative, it's personal. And that's what I mean by storytelling. It's not fiction, right? It's you showing up fully. The second is passion must be the foundation and not the algorithm. And let's have a real talk about the algorithm because I know it's on everyone's mind. To this day, I still couldn't figure it out in terms of what the right path should be. You hear it all the time. Post at this time, stick to a niche, use this title format. And sure, some of those tips can help. But let me tell you something from experience. None of those things would matter if you don't love what you're creating. Because passion shows, right? Every single time. I had posted dozens of travel and life vlogs that meant a lot to me personally. They grew slowly, which is fine, but then one day I posted a short clip from an Olympic track meet, just a 30-second short. It was a moment that gave me chills as a fan. That one clip, it hit 1.2 million views in less than 2 weeks, and it brought in nearly $150 in revenue, over 1,400 new subscribers, and it's still climbing as I speak. Why? Because people could feel that I wasn't just chasing trends. I was actually sharing something that mattered to me. You don't need to be an expert in YouTube. You don't need to manipulate the system. Just create what you're passionate about, but do it consistently. And the right people will find you. Let passion dictate your next steps. The numbers will follow. The third is let joy lead you or you'll burn out. Let me be honest, content creation can be exhausting. You edit late, you post and get no views. You second guess yourself. You wonder, is this even worth it? And unless you are genuinely finding joy in the process, it can start to feel like another job. If you're thinking about starting a channel or restarting one, I have one simple invitation. Start with what brings you joy. I know, cliche, but is the real deal. That's the truth. You need to ask yourself, what do I love talking about so much that I do it for free, right? Because that is when things come naturally. What could I film or share that would make me smile even if no one else watched? For me, it's reliving the excitement of a great race or walking down a cobblestone street in Europe or reflecting on a lesson I learned from a very difficult moment. That's the stuff I want to capture. And when I post it, it doesn't matter what the views are because I know it came from joy. This channel really started as a creative outlet, not a business plan. And I believe that's why it's grown because joy is magnetic. The fourth is you will inspire people even without trying. And here's the surprising thing, you don't always know who you're impacting. Sometimes the most heartfelt videos don't get the most views, but they get the most meaningful responses. So I've had people comment things like, thank you for showing me this moment. I didn't get to see it live, or this made me cry. I forgot how much I love this sport. Those comments are the reason I keep showing up. YouTube isn't just a platform for creators, it's a place for connection. And when you're over 50, you have something younger creators might not: reassurance, perspective, humor, calm in chaos. People are looking for that. They want someone who's been through the ups and downs and still shows joy with a smile, ready to create. You being visible authentically and vulnerably is enough to shift someone else's entire outlook. And that's the power of showing up. The fifth is monetization is possible, but it's not the mission. Because let's talk money. Yes, you can monetize. I've earned revenue, I've earned affiliate income, and I'm just starting to explore other digital opportunities. But here's the truth, it has to start with love. I know another cliche, but that's the real truth. If the only reason you're creating content is to earn money, you may find yourself disappointed. But if you build a channel based on your joy, your values, your message, and you stay consistent, then yes, opportunities will come. In May alone, I gained over 3,600 subscribers. My shorts alone brought for almost 5 million views this year. And now it's over that, I'm sure, compared to just 200,000 last year. And as of today, my channel has crossed over 5 million lifetime views. But those numbers only mean something because I stuck around long enough to see them happen. So, if you're watching this wondering, should I start a channel? Here's my answer. Absolutely. Yes, start today. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need gear. You don't need a niche. To this day, I still use my iPhone. What you need is a little courage, a lot of heart, and a willingness to start messy. Let your story unfold. Whether you talk about food, travel, relationships, crafts, books, music, or just your daily reflections. There's someone out there who needs what you have to offer because this journey is about more than metrics. It's about connection. It's about expression. It's about discovering the creative part of you that never got a real shot. So press record, say what's on your heart, and let the rest take care of itself. I'm rooting for you. And I thank you for listening. And hey, if you're just getting started on your channel or need a little support, drop a comment. I'd love to connect. Thanks again for watching. Peace and blessing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more.